Okay, so I'm just going to start reading out the question now that came in from my lovely client. So I'm having some lovely conversations with a man, mainly via text. We've had one date, and the more we communicate, the more I like him, which leads me to working out that balance between getting way too carried away and being cool if a week goes by without hearing from him. Earlier on in our communication, a week between conversations didn't even enter a blip on my radar. But now I'm becoming more interested. I see the old sniper habits coming back in. I'm going to come back to sniper habits in a second. So glad you've taught us how to recognise that, which is why I'm coming back to it, because it's important that you recognise sniper habits. Any other tips or suggestions to remain cool would be most welcome. So let's start with the sniper aspect of it. Now, I teach my clients that if you are going out into the dating world with the mentality of, I need to go and I need to find a partner. I need to find a partner for life, and I'm going to systematically hunt down man after man after man after man until I can work out which one is going to be the right one, you are going to be fucking exhausted. Now, in exactly the same way, and I constantly tell my clients this, you've got to keep your fucking options open. And I'm not talking about just going around and sleeping with any old guy and sleeping with as many people as possible, or not telling guys that you're seeing other guys behind their back. I'm not talking about that shit. What I'm talking about is going out there and living such a rich fabric of your life that finding one man is actually not your priority. Sure, obviously on your radar, if you're single, you're going to be like, yeah, I'd like a partner. But if that becomes your priority, that is when you've developed sniper type mentality. You focus in on one guy and you give him all your hope and all of your attention and all of your dreams and all of your, oh my God, please let this work out. Please let this be the one, 'cause I'm fucking exhausted because the last 15 guys I've dated have all been dickheads. That is sniper type mentality. If you can create a lifestyle that is so busy and so fucking full of people and connection, and some of those might be dates with guys, and some of them might be catch up coffee dates with friends. Some of it might be starting new hobbies. Some of it might be reigniting old hobbies. If you can go out with that attitude, and that's what I mean by keeping your options open. What I'm saying is you can't put all of your eggs in one basket. That's when you develop sniper type mentality, and that is when dating becomes really fucking exhausting. Because if all you are doing in the pursuit of love and happiness, because let's be honest, we're looking for love because we want to be happy. If all you're doing is looking for love as the magic pill to your happiness, fuck, man, what are you doing? You got it wrong. I'm going to talk about this on a general live tomorrow, the key to happiness, like how to be happy. Because I see so many women come to me, and they come to me because they want a partner, because they think the partner is going to make them happy. And then they get the partner and they're still not fucking happy. Because all they've done is look externally for someone else to provide their happiness for them. And that's not the way the world works. In fact, it would be fucking easier if that's the way the world works. But it isn't. You have to provide your own happiness, which is a bit of hard fucking work, if I'm going to be honest, because quite often, sometimes on a Wednesday night, I'd rather sit in and just watch shit on television as well. And every now and then I give myself the time to do that. But if I did that every single week, day in, day out, and all I was doing was swiping on Tinder and hoping that the next guy I'm going out for a beer with is going to be my husband, that's sniper mentality. That's fucking exhausting. Even if he does end up being your husband, you're still not creating a life for yourself whereby you are the source of your own happiness. So that's what she means by sniper mentality. I talk about it with my clients all the time. I preach it till the cows come home. I embody it myself. I have done sniper mentality dating, and it's fucking exhausting. Don't bother doing it. Like, it's just... ugh. So the moment that you have conscious awareness of sniper type mentality around dating, it means that when you have got a guy on the scene, you can be consciously aware of, oh my God, I feel like I'm about to put all my eggs in one basket, or I feel like I'm putting huge amounts of pressure on myself and on this person to potentially end up being my husband. So what my client was asking was, got the sniper type mentality, aware of it, consciously aware of it, what else can I do to ensure that in those really early days of dating a guy and getting to know a guy, I'm not turning into one of those people who suddenly gets a little bit obsessive and begins to feel a little bit needy or a little bit desperate or a little bit like, oh God, is he texting me back yet? Is he texting me back yet? Why hasn't he texted me back yet? You know, when you take your phone to have a shit, that is when you're in that kind of space. Sorry, my phone is doing all sorts of notifications. Apparently I'm meant to be somewhere. That's a shame. So the one thing that I want to give you today is when you are in the early stages of getting to know someone. Sorry, my partner's just trying to call me, which is terrible. I feel terrible about the fact that I just hit the reject button. So the best piece of advice I can give you is in these early stages, you're gonna get yourself, it's a bit like being back at school. Oh, lovely, because we all want to go back there, don't we? Fucking hell. You're going to get yourself a piece of paper, quite literally a piece of paper, and you're going to draw a line down the middle. And in column A, you are going to write down, as if you were giving a police statement, the facts, the F-A-C-T... F-A-C-T-S, never was a speller, clearly needs to go back to school. You're going to write down the facts that you know about this person. So it might very well be, I know he has friends because he referenced Friends. I know he has a job that he enjoys because he's told me that he enjoys his job. I know that he paid for dinner. I know that he owns his own house. Just giving you some examples, right? Like literally facts. Take out all of the emotion, take out all of the presumption, take out all of the future pacing, take out all the hopes and the dreams. Be really fucking clinical about it. Facts. Column A is facts about this other human being that you have spent very limited time with. So you're not going to be able to have a big, massive, full column here because you've had a couple of conversations via text and you've been out on one date. In the other column, you are going to write down all the things that you are making these facts mean. So as human beings, nothing has meaning apart from the meaning that we give it. So let's take, for example, I know this man has friends because he's referenced his friends. What are you making that mean? Are you making it mean in your head that this guy is a social network butterfly and his friends all look like supermodels and he has parties on a yacht and is constantly going around with people flanking him left, right and centre because he's so crazily popular? Because if that's what you're making it mean, you're now creating this person that you're putting on a pedestal that isn't real. And that's what happens when people get really, really overly attached to these people in the early days, is that actually they don't know much about them. So what they do know about them, they just start embellishing and they start kind of putting their hopes and dreams on them. You know, all of a sudden, just because a guy owns his own house, in your head, you've never seen the house. The house might be a fucking shithole. It might have bright pink walls, it might have festering carpets, it might have termites in the walls, but in your head, he lives in a fucking villa in Spain. So when you can separate imagination from fact, in those early days of dating, you are far less likely to take a guy that you don't know and put him on a pedestal and give him all of these attributes, whether they be personality attributes, financial attributes, whether they be physical attributes. You can convince yourself that you are going out with Brad Pitt on very little information. And you can future pace yourself very quickly. Oh, he talked about his nephew. He must definitely want kids. So do yourself a favour, and after that very first date, or even after the first few exchanges of text messages even, be really honest. What do you actually know about this human being? And what are you making those facts mean? And then whenever you are in a place where you're a bit like, oh my God, he hasn't texted me back yet. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, why not? You go back to that list and you go, what do I actually know about this human? That's how my face used to look most of the time.